Won't stop. Don't stop. It's time to get ready to get down into our next round of matchups here. So let's go ahead and head off to Haven. Bishop Kelly versus Owasso. You know, Llama, if you would have told me going into round two that this is the matchup that we had to start off round three, I would have guessed that it was going to be the two undefeated squads from Group B. But Bishop Kelly, well, they were upset in our last round, so now it's going to be up to them to find some way, somehow, to bounce back and get on the winning foot here against a undefeated Owasso squad.
And no team has gone undefeated today, so everybody has been human, everybody's lost at least one map. And Owasso trying to do the opposite, look inhuman, and Taspetti on the jet is one of the dangerous things in this agent select. Other than that, it's pretty similar. You get yourself a Cypher, you get yourself a Sova, you get yourself the Breach on either side. The one big difference is going to be that Yoru versus the Jet. The choice of duelist, I feel like Yoru very good at grabbing some information, while Jet, and as we've seen from Taspetti, is really good at just bursting onto the sides.
Yeah, I do believe we've seen Taspetti on the Neon the last two maps they've played. So switching up to Jet, while a little different, still a high movement, high octane sort of character. So it definitely makes sense to see Taspetti on the Jet there. And now at this point, it is just all going to be about who can win this first pistol, who can get that first point on the board. And I feel like for Bishop Kelly, after having a little bit of a lead in their second map, just to fall short, they would really like to get off to the right foot here in map 3.
Everybody would love to, but only one can here to start off our pistol round. And of course, going to another 3-site map, it makes it a bit interesting to see what Owasso can do on this attacking side. Of course, you're playing in towards the tripwires. It'll be interesting to see again how they deal with that physical barrier to try and stop the Rams from getting in, but they already deleted one of the barriers. They're going to dash right into the backside. Showtime under pressure as Taspetti not only gets one, but their teammate combines for 3, and they've got the plan.
Spike planted.
Going down Bakery here in Garage. You do also have to worry about the Sova that's trying to make that entry in from the back of sight. That's
Last player
Asian, who is able
standing.
to at least find a little bit of pressure spring to the wall. But once Bakery goes down, all eyes turn towards Asian here, entering in on this back site, pushed away by the shock darts, will respond with a recon bolt of their own. It will get destroyed before giving them any sort of information. Asian gonna have to enter in blind, and it will be Texi who eventually puts them down. Awesome. Take round 1.
It's not just a really good execute. I think when you walk through Garage, you're able to gather so much information to see if there's a player in through window, but also avoid that secondary tripwire that was placed on the entry side from C-Long. So just playing really well together, you get to see that jet dash, how fast it can be to run over some of that backline. And now for Owasso, you get to buy right on in. Round number 2 is all yours in terms of the economy. We'll see what they can do when the actual rubber hits the road.
Well, time to get down to it. The doors disappear and round number 2 officially starts. The question becomes, where does Owasso decide to pivot? Usually you see if it's the attacking team that's the pistols in hands, they'll play a little bit more lax and kind of grouped up together and kind of playing the waiting game. Interesting to see them opting for that same strategy with the rifles in their hand. Grouped up together here are the squad from Bishop Kelly, all looking towards A. However, they've been left all alone.
It's been kind of a very patient round from these two teams that have still got 5 players left to go. If you look at the tripwire positioning, one to cover Garage, one to cover the main entrance towards B. But a rap's going to start. It's going to be a lot on Showtime here to just do some damage, gather some information on the camera, which look like it stayed alive. The cage going to be popped up here. It's Taspetti that gets the free and easy plant, and now it's a 5v5 retake with weaponry in hands of Owasso.
Awesome, gathered up and around the corner, finds the burst with the Spectre, that fault line. While catches Vision, doesn't get enough, and now Vision turns the corner cold. Now the paranoia is going to miss their mark. That's going to be a second put down by Vision.
Garage control is there, but I mean at this point, Bishop Kelly, they're just straggling on in from behind. Bakery's going to watch and wait. Doesn't have a flash to play for either. That's more stuns coming through. It's no chance at the defuse now. Just gonna try and throw some bodies at it. And at this point, not trying to give over any more orbs. Just want to die to the spike. Flawless. Round number 2 though for Owasso.
Well, that's 3 in a row from Owasso. Sorry, 3 in a row. I can count. I promise I can. That's 2 in a row from Owasso. Now, though, in round number 3, this is where the rifles come out. This could be where Bishop Kelly start to build up a little bit of momentum in their own right. But just like we have talked about a few times previously today, as we do head into round number 3, Bishop Kelly dropped now a 3rd round in a row. Econ breaks, and all of a sudden Owasso is off to the races. This is a best of 1 still at this portion of the tournament.
Traveling.
Bishop Kelly's got to put things together here quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Hammer doesn't quite shoot the trigger, but we'll gather some information. And you talk about the quickness as well. You talk about already a team up 2-0. Owasso's been really clean in terms of overall battle back mentality. Just close out their maps, and doing so led by this duelist of Tespetti. Procrastinator, unlike the name, won't take their time, getting straight up A long, and Bakery's got a nice little headshot through the wall there. It's an outlaw from Tespetti, but the rest of the team just doesn't have the space, and that tripwired garage could really halt what they want to do.
The slower approach now rotating their way slowly back over towards A. Procrastinator turns the corner, finds the heady.
One enemy remaining.
Left standing. Let's make it a 1 actually, as Baker finds their 3rd frag. Jude, the last one left alive, does have the spike in hand. The ability to take
30
their
seconds
time.
left.
Be able to pass that. Don't worry about the flash, but Procrastinator
Well, they sucked.
aims down sight, puts another one down. A flawless round here for Bishop Kelly.
That was well done, and I like that end off, even though it's a 1v5. You're talking about someone with a regen shield. If they start to get one, it starts to build up into a 2nd and a 3rd. But this is going to be the first critical round, you feel like. It's round number 4. It's everybody's got the
Cutting
weaponry. And for Owasso, again, they're on this attacking side of a 3-site map. The more pressure they can hold in, the better they're going to look in the long run. It looks like they're just going to play a little bit of default action. Leave the spike back, see what information you can gather, and then look for the execute once you push in. That camera might see everybody if that smoke fades.
They're pushing in here is Bakery to be able to at least meet whoever's on the other side. Once that smoke does dissipate to Spetty, on the low side of the window here, I think here's those footsteps right up above him. Surely calling it out. Instead of jump on over to Spetty, will make Bakery pay. And by the time Cole turns the corner, Spetty is off and back to respawn. We'll be back with the rest of the squad. And Owasso has to figure out where they want to take this spike.
It's nice to get the breach down early. I think that is a huge piece broken away from this defensive side. However, this is still a really tough entry. I mean, you're still dealing with a Cypher. Those tripwires, you don't really know where they are. You didn't find any in towards garage. And that camera going to be placed solely
Not
for
ready
some
yet.
extra garage protection. It's going to be a walk up here. Smoke is going to cut off garage. And again, it's down to Showtime, who will be blocked out from the
30
vision
seconds
and
left.
disengage. Betty's low on HP, and you know, Jude, the
Spike
dude doesn't have
down,
any
C.
left to go. Spike is down, 20 seconds to go. Plant will come through. The re-engage is
planted.
quick. They're already sending the road.
One
utility.
enemy remaining.
They're just smashing this one with their crossfires. It's quick, fast, and in a hurry as Bishop Kelly tie this up.
Even 3 left standing as well. That's that magic number I was talking about earlier. You'd like to carry over as many rifles as possible. And, well, Bishop Kelly slowly moving things into their favor. And, you know, rifles have come into play. You win 2 rounds in a row. You're feeling pretty good right now.
Don't have the spike.
Well, for now, going into this round number 5, no ults on either side of the board. It's just rifles or nothing.
It's everything right here in this round number 5. No ultimates either, as you mentioned. Really nobody has any online quite yet. I want to see if this works out for Owasso. It looks like they want to go down C long. The camera should be ready to watch on over it.
My ult's ready.
The teleport up and available right in the back of that side as well. Spenny wants to go, picks up the ult orb, dashes in with the daggers. Land. One of them, two of them already. It's Showtime and Procrastinator down as the re-engage looks to come through.
Spike planted.
Finds those first two is to Spetty, which of course means they've got a full rack of knives back at their disposal. Cold looking to turn the corner here in Garage. Can't find anybody just quite yet. Paranoia will come out. Let's make it a second. However, will be slowed down for just a moment. Aims and turns
Last
the
player
fight, forces
standing.
the knives out. Fort Kaiser finds two. Traspetti finds the last. And Owasso back in the lead.
Really good space staking. I mean, their smokes were perfectly timed. Every time a Paranoia came over, they countered it with a Paranoia of their own. And it's just these site holds that are working out. I think just Betty, the space they're taking is lovely. Getting that entry through C long, and especially using some of those cages to block up the vision line is great, but holding that site is even better. So to see that work out for Owasso, now as you see, it's going to force more members over to the C site and possibly open up somewhere else.
Scanning ahead.
Back together here for Owasso as they do try and figure out which way they want to push things here in this round. We've seen them go with a couple of different approaches. They haven't really found much success, however, when it comes to pushing over towards A. They will
Take
go
flight.
down the short line of sight, short haul here. Nobody on the other side. If they can quickly kind of get their way up, they could actually get access onto A while both players pushed forward. A's at side of the smoke. It's almost as if they know it's a dance on either side of that smoke screen. Disappears, however. Falls back just in time. Azen, they turn the corner. Make it two, make it
Feeling
three.
area.
Azen, what are you
One
doing?
enemy remaining.
Okay. Ace is it? Oh my
Never
goodness
come back.
gracious.
My ult is ready.
Azen gets the ace, and they are screaming there in the facility, and for good reason. What a play to be able to even things back up at 3.
And that's just insanity. Huge little 3-3 start. We're even on that one, but that's not the only best of one we get to watch today. Let's take a look at our second best of one that's going on as well.
Helena, Retina. We were out talking about it in the green room, wondering when we would see East Helena get their first round on the board. Already done so here in the first half, but Retina already looking to move up to 6 and guarantee themselves at minimum a share of the lead.
One enemy
at
remaining.
half. But right now it is all left to the lone Cypher. Felvadam, who will fall back in for good reason, just wanting to save this last rifle in hand.
Sure what the economy situation looks like, but especially with Gretna and their numbers they have on the board, should be recommendable to save this one away. It is actually just going to be the judge, so picks up the shotgun for those following rounds. It is sunset here, so an interesting map selection. We haven't really seen it since those early matches of Group A this morning, and it's a fun one. I mean, this is one that can feel very attacker-sided favorited because of the distance between those two sites, even though it is a two-site map. The problem is, though, you still have to get some work done on the defensive side. No matter what side we always say it's favored, you still want to earn some rounds.
Should we tell him, chat? I think we should tell him, chat. Oh yeah, we saw sunset on your website. But yes, very much in all of your points there. Just had to poke a little bit of fun at you where I had the chance to opportunity. Retina gonna be able to find an opening pick here from Unlucky. It was the paint shell that was able to find it. George searches the corner, able to find Viv, and that girl depth will give the location of the last 2 players left alive here. Should give
Spike
them
planted.
all the confidence needed to be able to get this spike down.
One enemy
Should
remaining.
secure them the round as well. Unlucky finds the 3K, all left to Thelvanam again.
Has the HP. Unfortunately, it is just quick and concise with the cutback. That's already 7 rounds earned from the Dragons. who are 1-1. If they can get a victory here, a 2-1 scoreline is so great. You can set yourself up kind of in that middle of the pack scenario, or if we see that undefeated crew on the other best of one take a loss, we could have another situation where it comes down to, did you beat the other team that is in the same 2-on-1? Did you have a better overall round differential? That's the questions we'll have to answer here, and of course for East Helena, they've got some ultimates on the board to try and battle back the score.
Got a couple. Soda's unlucky here as well. Gonna bring out the showstopper. Finds the one, despite the fact the trap wire did slow them down just a hair. Unlucky will find
player
another
standing.
unified under one, and Ananke also finding theirs, leaving it all
Spike
left
planted.
to Biv in a 1v4 as the spike goes down on A.
Planted solely on the ground. Biv is gonna have to do it. 12 bullets to send in. Guardian's good for one. The flash was nice, but Unlucky's 3K even nicer. It feels like anybody of this Gretna squad can step up, and honestly, just now seeing the Phoenix on the composition, I think the double duelist setup is so lovely. I mean, Phoenix, so much versatility on this map, especially with that wall. Kind of plays that mid-range duelist. Has the flash, has the ability to engage, but also has the ability to just play lockdown on that vision.
I think I would be concerned with the double duelist if they weren't finding so much success on the offensive side of things right now. I mean, they're already up to 8, and surely look like they should be able to secure one of these last rounds. Viv, though, a shotty to the body, only finding connection with one.
Cage trigger.
4v3 Thel will be trying to fall back. Bose also left alive here, trying to find some progress on the flank. Here's the footsteps, looks to aim down sight, but Unknown Gamer quicker on the draw.
Vandal just delivers a beautiful headshot here. And for Vic, it's a 2v4. We've got one more shotgun to play for. 5 damn cards. It's not good enough. Anake is great for the kill. It's going to be a plant coming on through. 2 ultimates left to boot as well for Gretna. You also have Anake with neither one of the healing tools, so could maybe think about investing the ultimate. Because only one other player is going to do the Phoenix ultimate, which will bring him back to full HP no matter the outcome. And just trying to chase this down, not allowing anything to come through. Phoenix won't join the party, but the trademark is destroyed. The rest to follow here. George, a couple sprays through the wall. Surprise, those didn't connect. And Vic does get no one. Swing around for the trade and the 3K from Unknown Gamer.
That's where if I'm Vic, I'm saying, hey, I got
Last
mines.
round in the half.
Does get the one, though, before falling for sure. Takes at least a rifle out of the hand. It's 9-2. As Gretna seems to have a pretty good grasp of things here. I mean, East Helena, we had mentioned, was looking to try and piece some rounds together before heading into the playoffs. They've done that much, but I would really like to see them get to that 5, 6, maybe even 7 mark before the end of the map.
Absolutely. I mean, this would be something that you need to push forward on, gain a little bit of confidence to go in towards those playoffs, which are, by the way, right around the corner. You don't get a real break in between the 2 days here. You get quarterfinals and semifinals right after, and that's if you make it. It's single elimination. Also, by the way, Gretna just highway robbery the A site. There's no defenders here.
Are now looking to push and get this spike down.
Spike
Down
planted.
does indeed go. Ananke gonna beat down the bows. Oh, my poor little wingman, not gonna find any sort of progress there on the queue. Ananke turns the corner. That's actually 3 now this round. They've been absolutely holding it down for Gretna.
It's a 2v3 though. It is a nice little Earl theft that comes on through. Snow's gonna re-engage on the wingman, this time used as a stun. As George gains some information.
One enemy remaining.
Camera and then just sprays through the cage. Why not? It's a headshot on top of it. The reload is aided by the duo. 3 players survive. Double digits on the half from Gretna.
Switching sides.
And I just love that engagement. I was joking that it's a highway robbery, but I mean, perfect placement of both the paint shells and the firebomb to the ground from Phoenix. It just pushed away everybody that was on those edge lines of A. And once you lose A, it's really tough to retake.
It's definitely a tough one to be able to regather back, especially once you start playing at the disadvantage man-wise as well. So understandably so, as far as on the dropping of that round. And well, here we go as far as into the flipping of the side. East Helena now be on the offense and trying to see what they can make shake. It looks like they're potentially setting up for a rather quick push over towards this B side. Let's see how Gretna favors on this defensive half.
First, they've got the double duelist, so that'll be the really key thing to watch and see if they can play aggressive. Sunset is a map where it is just a mere 2 seconds to go from mid straight into the attacker side spawn. So if you're not careful, an engagement can come through quickly. Double trapwire here coming through on the B site. Camera watching over. One of them actually got destroyed, it looks like. So now here's the entry. Push their way in. Unknown Gamer watching as George gets the first blood. Nobody's allowed to stay in the elevator shaft. And still, Unknown Gamer lives for just a moment. Plant comes down. Wingman will help with that. But they're just
One
closing
enemy
in.
remaining.
Phoenix is from behind.
Spike
And
down,
King's got
B.
the double. And George has another pistol round victory here from the Dragons.
Yeah, it felt like if East Helena was going to have a chance, it had to start with the pistol. Unfortunately, doesn't there, and well, we can talk all day about having the positive of improving on their previous performances, but I think due to those last couple of performances, at this case, unless anything short of a miracle here in map number 3, I do believe they will be locked in at that number 4 seed in the B side of the bracket, which means they are going to have to face off when it comes to playoffs against that 1 seed on the other side from Group A, Centerville.
The up draw,
Spike down
Unlucky,
A.
making sure their draw is quick, fast, and definitely quite on point. Double kill to start it off. Here's the enter in from George. Are you kidding me? These Bulldogs are absolutely biting. 2 more players from East Helena to try and do some damage.
Last player standing.
Spike, Unknown Gamer just walks through, and Omen walking through their own smoke. And Thel gets one more with the Sheriff, but that's all she wrote. The Dragons earn themselves the map point in their final best of 1 before playoffs.
Match point.
Trying to end strong here. I mean, they did just take down Bishop Kelly, the number 1 seed heading into the day. Felt like this was an expected result, but to see them be able to come in and execute on their game plan has to have Gretna feeling super confident, getting ready for playoffs. Let's see if they have the ability to end things here and end things now, because you feel like you want as much time as you can to prepare for that single elimination bracket.
It's right around the corner. You don't get too much time to rest. Straight away, though, East Helena heat the setup. Bose is going to get the headshot on Unknown Gamer. And this is a force-up round. I want to go with every piece of economy they have left to go. Anake's got the headshot. And I'll start to slow things down. Anake pretty much full bot in the utility. Still 1 flash to go. There's the headshot.
Spike down,
and
mid.
there's the spike. Has the hot hands, has the wall, but doesn't even need him. A 3K already. And maybe an ace on the cover.
We've seen Ananke's name so many times with those multi-kills to start
Last
the round,
player
which is just
standing.
allowed for Gretna to be able to vibe essentially in the back half. They've got the numbers, and even when you do see Thel stepping up, getting 1 or 2 late, they're still in a 1v2, 1v3 scenario, which just feels just about helpless to be in.
They found my wire.
Great one, but it's a winnable one for sure. 50 shield and 100 HP. You've also got access to that spike.
I have retrieved the
Make
spike.
rotation over if you can get out
30
safely
seconds
through
left.
tiles. Who knows what could be the result?
Right there.
The timing is critical. And just seeing a shadow of a doubt lying in wait, the tiles escape is successful. Now needing to get the plant and set up in a position that'll aid in this 1v2.
Spike's gonna
10
go down.
seconds left.
Thel gonna try and make the magic happen. Currently inside the cage. We'll have to step away. Able
1
to do
enemy
so
remaining.
unharmed. Finds the 1 and is now in a 1v1. A little Cypher on Cypher action. George steps in, finds the shot, and that will do it. Gretna able to move up to 2-1 in Group B, securing this
Defenders
map
win.
13-2. You took down the big dogs, then you handled business securing themselves what feels like just very well could be the 2 seed here in Group B.
To see how things shake out for Anake. The average combat score is over 400. That is insane. It's not a 30 bomb this time, but it's 2 separate players on 20 bombs in their own right. And look at those first blood combinations. 4 first bloods from Anake, 8 first bloods from Unlucky.
I mean, when you have the top 2 players fragging in that capacity, I mean, 2 players past that 350 ACS, you know you're in good hands. Between the 2 of them, 42 and 17. I mean, carrying a 2 KDA between the 2 combined, definitely feeling good. So we've seen one of our final 2 matchups come to a conclusion. Let's go ahead and send things on over to Owasso and Bishop Kelly. See how that matchup here is faring. We're off to the second half, and Bishop Kelly currently up 8-5.
Up in this round, advantage. So it looks like the spike going down.
Spike
Mordekaiser's got the pistol kill, and we'll upgrade to the Spectre.
Revealing area.
Spectre has that with a little bit of bunny action on top. With 4 players, though, they're going to set themselves into the cubby. This is another spike plant where it's just going to be so hard for the defenders to actually clear. Not only because they don't have the long-range weaponry, but also just the factor of that plan is perfection. It's going to be perfection.
One enemy remaining.
Fakes the teleport, dies to the classic. The headshot good enough, but Eisen picks up their 3K. Bishop Kelly up 9-5.
And they continue to cruise, and I'm trying to remember last time we had turned away from this. I believe it was pretty close. What, 3-3, 4-4? It was tied up relatively early in that first half. So Bishop Kelly has done a pretty good job of pulling away here towards the end of the first half. Now starting off the second half with 2 round wins in a row. If Owasso wants to have a chance at things here, to be able to finish undefeated in Group B, it feels like you got to start the turn here.
Really feels now is the option.
I must wait a moment.
But also, I mean, you're on this defensive side. You have works to make. And boy, it'd be a really fun result.
Right
Getting
there.
to see the 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. That would initiate the round differential. As those tiebreakers to Spetty. Nice little kill on top of Procrastinator. Kill as well for that. It's going to be Texi. It's a quick 2-for-0. The health bars sure took some damage, but Owasso, this is exactly the bounce back you wanted.
Back in it. But you got to make sure that you're able to clean things up here at the back end of this round. And you've got to try and find a way to really make this round not only one that you'll win, but you walk away. I usually say 3 weapons in your hands. You would try to like to keep 4 up standing. Thus far, I mean, they've really put Bishop Kelly on their back foot. It's going to be a delay, a little bit of a later push over towards B.
30
but
seconds left.
Bakery was going to at least open things up with 1.
I was gonna say, had they built up that crossfire, could have been a bit more dangerous.
Spike down,
Spetty's
B.
dead, so is Mordekaiser. And all of a sudden,
1 enemy remaining.
skills are going good. Vision, though, there's a nice little battle back. Health bars still aren't great. Texi's gonna make sure the health bars are nothing. 9-6 is how we'll go. The Rams found their answer.
It's huge. Get yourself back onto the right track here in the second half, and 3-round difference is definitely manageable, but that is going to put the pressure on you to make sure that you still continue to close this gap before Bishop Kelly gets up to double digits. Right now, though, got to figure out which way you're really able to find this lockdown defense. I mean, Bishop Kelly, we haven't seen them sending too much pressure over towards A. It looks like that could be the case this time around. Spetty already quickly asserting themselves down this A long side. Bakery gonna find a double, however.
Bakery, over the course of these last 2 rounds, has to be deadly accurate. Mordekaiser is going to be duoed up here on the site. Flash comes through. 1. Procrastinator falls, but they are just sending it through this smoke.
1 enemy remaining.
It's going to be Bakery again, who
Okay,
just fries
then
everybody.
take what's useful.
Showtime with the headshot. Earns the Knights their double digits.
We're talking about the importance of Owasso still being able to find a way to close the gap. Unable to do so in round 16. Right back onto the scoreboard is Bishop Kelly. Remember, this is a team that fell in an upset in their second round of Group B. They would like to be able to end with a nice exclamation point here. So I would imagine as far as for them, they'll look to up the pace here in these following rounds.
You can speed it up and throw off your opponents, especially in a 3-site map. The more likely you are to
Camera
just run
taken
it
out.
over. That camera is immediately abolished from
must
the
wait a moment.
C-long
Who's next?
exit.
Tripwire
Looks like
cage
it's going to be a
triggered.
dimensional drift. That's a lot of information. It's going to push back Owasso as well. You talked about speed, but they're going to have to get combined information here to grab the site. However, they've got to be careful of Tech seeing this angle. Sure, there's a smoke to watch it. They're going to tripwire in.
Spike planted.
Goes down. It's going to be the 5v5 on the retake here. Vision looking to push in with Texie. Here through the garage, you've also got Tispetti pinching in on the backside. If Tispetti can find this first frag with the Sheriff, would really apply some big pressure that is needed here for Owasso for the disarm. Procrastinator out will be able to put Tispetti down, and that now leads it to where all 4 players remaining are currently on site. Vision finds a second, but Procrastinator finds 3 with Cold and Azen both finding 1 to their name, which will allow Bishop Kelly to move up to 12.
It's a combination of events that allow them to win that round, and it's all perfectly timed. You wait for the breach ultimate to come through, you wait until you hear them on that spike, and then sure, an omen smoke is going to force one member forward, but that little tiny chunk of information makes it so that Owasso can't go for the defuse, that you can hold out for a nice little C-long plant. And those ultimates, even though you invested, guess what? You've got 3 more on the board. Bishop Kelly is 2 rounds away from victory.
Similar fashion like we had talked about earlier, once you do put yourself within arm's reach, strangely enough, the pressure almost gets put into your lap here, especially if you do see Owasso start to put together some rounds. It's important that you keep your pedal down here. If you are Bishop Kelly, now you are going to be playing as a 4. Tispetti already pushed up through the window. Showtime
I know
turns
exactly
the corner,
where you
and it's like he knew he was there. One tap, Hetty clears a little bit of space for the squad to potentially rotate over towards B, or maybe even use garage over towards C. You see them taking players both directions, and even with all of that, the spike going all the way around the outside to see long.
Around the world, trip like Amelia Earhart here as they fly their way onto C. It's just a 3v3 now. As that plant goes down, you wonder, Hunter's Fury, does it come out? Those delay tools, you can just sit in the cubby or even sit further back to wait your time. Mordekaiser needs to do a lot here, and with 75% left in the HP bar, it's nothing. Procrastinator's headshot could have just sealed the round. From the shadows, ultimate is not going to do too much. It's an extra open smoke on top of it. And here comes that Hunter's Fury.
One enemy
Down,
remaining.
grabs the kill,
Death is
and
cold.
delivers the final arrow in the form of a dagger of a
Match
round.
point.
Let's
Puts
end.
Bishop Kelly on to match point. We could very well be 1 round away from wrapping up our group play here for the LOS Scholastic National Championships for Valorant. However, before we get to that, let's take ourselves a quick timeout, a small little pause here, and understandably so for Owasso, a team that would like to still keep that fight alive, to see if they can, 1, put together a strategy, and 2, maybe even ice the Bishop Kelly squad just a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something where you said it, right? You're on map point already. You just need to get 1 round. I mean, it sounds so simple, but of course, playing these great teams, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to find your entrance back in. And boy, Q, all I can think about is the all-elusive 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Would definitely be interesting to see how that plays out as far as round differential, because both of these 2 teams here have a 13-0 victory in their back pocket from rounds 1 and 2 against East Helena.
True.
But of course, it would be Bishop Kelly that would have the advantage over Owasso at that 2-1. But Gretna has the game advantage over Bishop Kelly from their win in round number 2. Definitely will be interested to see how things pan out if that is indeed the case.
It's round differential, all important. A great like nice little decoy coming out from the fake out, and Despetti doesn't care. Slices, dices, 2 for 2 actually on the trade. Owaso's gonna play patient though. They need to not overextend here. This
Spike
could be the round
planted.
that ends it all. They've got us from the shadows. Crush them. There's a double. No!
Last
The
player
shots don't go high
standing.
enough. Showtime's got a double! And it's Vision. Needs to keep the eyes open. Where one player is with
Last
the
player
Bulldog. The
standing.
flash. Vision gets the trade. And Vision gets the double, keeping the Rams alive.
Able to pull off an impressive double here. His vision to keep the dream alive for Owasso. They would still need 5
copies
more
of
rounds
nothing.
just to force an overtime. But of course, every run starts with 1. Could that have been the one for Owasso to be able to bust things wide open and send us off to overtime?
This goes here.
I would hope so. Man, we got to see some
That goes there.
overtimes early on. I would love to see some more here in Group B. Of course, 3 ultimates now. Also, didn't really invest too much in that last round either. Got a great setup. The only worry is you're investing very heavily into A. It is only going to be the breach and jet on the C defense. And if they're not careful, that site could be taken right from under their nose.
Do realize after a quick peek around A long, ain't nobody coming that way. You can see a rotate push over towards that C side. 2 players on site, one of which being Despetti, trying to see if they can find this opening frag here. Smoke will come in from the Omen with that. Despetti will find their way through. That was friendly fire, if I'm not mistaken. I came across, no, that wasn't friendly fire. Yeah. Oh, it was friendly fire. Oh man, imagine that in a big round like this.
It's only a little bit of damage, but boy, it can cost you. And I get it. I mean, it's a slicer into C-long. It's a long angle to look for. Texi, you're inside the site. Omen v Omen could start off the fireworks.
Who's next?
But boy, I mean, there's a Yoru ultimate. They're going to immediately pop it. Procrastinator wants the information. Everybody's just running, clearing out the C site. Says, don't give them anything. Don't give them anything for free. Grab the vision that it's all clear and free. Gets a flash out and kill! Despetti
30
falls to the
seconds left.
decoy, and the C side is open.
Gotta be expecting the decoy pushing first in that situation. I understand how you quick trigger fingers, but it's at their despair
planted.
here. Procrastinator finds 2 more, looking for a potential 4th as they do have one player
enemy
vision
remaining.
on that backside. Texi, the last one left alive for Owasso, if they're gonna be able to complete their run undefeated in through this B group stage. Scholastic!
The ace, right? Gotta give him the ace. The wraparound shot, no!
Attackers win.
Procrastinator had the
done.
angle, but it doesn't matter. Bishop Kelly, the 13-7 victory on Haven. Everybody but one team gets to the 2-1 marker, and that's what these 2 teams fall and gain 2. Procrastinator, your match MVP with 23 kills.
Procrastinator absolutely showing up in a huge way, passing that 20 piece, 323 ACS, doing a great job of, finding some openings as well. Between those top 2 players, him and Bakery, 7 first bloods amongst the 20 rounds. I mean, really holding it down. Got to give a big shout out to Despetti when you talk about opening first bloods there, being able to give at least some sort of pressure over to the side of Owasso, but at the end of the day, you mentioned it, 3 2-1 squads. We'll have to wait and see how that triple tiebreaker breaks down as far as seeding, because now Group A is done. Group B is now completed as well. We're getting ready for playoffs, baby.
And I mean, think about the work for some of these teams. You go through all 3 matches, and at the end of the day, one of these 2-1 teams is going to end up as the 3 seed from their own group and might have a little bit tougher path. But it's like we said, it's not just about winning, but winning cleanly. And we got to give a few shout outs to the people helping the kids win here today. And not only is that through League OS building up their stats throughout the regular season in their own portal accounts, but also HyperX stepping in at the last hour to say, not only are you earning a trophy, but we'll also give away some hardware for the team that picks up the victory.
And not only that, but obviously you had mentioned the portal from LOS as well, right? Which is a recruiting site where you're able to search over 600 colleges by what games they play, where they are, and what degree programs they offer as well. And while colleges can subscribe to search for student prospects based on their competitive and academic performances, the big thing is they allow us to put together two sort of programs like this a year, whether it was back in January over at The Ohio State University or now at Maryville University there in St. Louis. So big shout out to the portal, obviously put together with League OS to allow for our students to have this sort of opportunity. You talk about one being able to test your metal against the best of the best, 8 different state champions in their own right, but also to have that opportunity to further their education as well. It's a win-win, Mama.
It absolutely is. And I think for these teams as well, I mean, you talk about someone like me that I was searching for Apex opportunities, and had I not found a school to actually connect with, I mean, those abilities would not have carried on to that next level. And I like the balance too. Maybe you are a full time player that wants to pursue it as your full time thing. For me, it was kind of a split in between. I wanted to find a journalism degree, I wanted to find an Apex spot, and that's exactly what the portal is going to help you do. So many amazing opportunities for all these amazing players.
So many opportunities, and we're only halfway through it all. The group stages are now complete. We'll figure out our seeding here in Group B, and then we'll go ahead and seed our playoff bracket, which gets started off next. This is where it all matters. It's win or go home. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some playoff action here with our LOS Scholastic National Championships for Valorant after this break.